I'm still in Michigan, and there's good news and bad news. I keep checking every day with Ministry of Transportation, and it looks like they are adding staff, because until recently they were working on with the limited people in the office, right? And how do I know that? Is because you can email them for an update, and as soon as you hit the send button, you receive an automatic reply, and it's like the same form that says that due to COVID-19, our processing times are much longer. Please expect, and then it says days from the day your application was submitted. And Monday, when I did mine, it showed 14 business days. Then I checked Wednesday, it said 12 days. And then I checked this morning, and it said, I look at the same form. The only thing that's changing is that day field, And today I was happy to see finally it says 10 days. So, and that's business days, right? Of course, 10 business days, it's still can be 2 weeks, but that's better. I'll take that, right? And also they're happy to inform you what day applications they're working on. A couple of days ago they told me they were working on July 8th, and today they're working on July 10th. So things are moving along. Again, my application for the single trip permit was submitted on July 20th. So I have 10 days of backlog ahead of me, but I think something is telling me I should get my my permit next week. And the only other logistics issue is that my Michigan permit expires on Tuesday, and I went to the hotel until Monday, and so I might need to pay again $50 to Michigan DOT and renew my Michigan permit, just to get these 5 miles, to cover these 5 miles between before Canada. And as they say, never these are like super stressful times. Things break, loads are delayed. I'm not in a very good mood, but at least I'm losing weight like crazy on my new diet. Nothing else worked. This stuff works. I was shopping for jeans yesterday, and you must know this, very important. Normally I used to go with 34 by 32 in US size, and then something happened. I think it's called middle age or old age, and I could no longer fit in 34 by 32 Wrangler jeans that I always buy, but I had to buy 35 by 32. And that's when I started, looking at all these diets, trying to lose weight. And I know you guys keep telling me that, I look like I need to add weight, but you don't see the whole picture under the t-shirt. And so I'm happy to report that I bought another pair of Wrangler cheap jeans yesterday. I think it's like $25 or $29. And I look at, I could not find 35 by 32, but I see 34 by 32, and I'm like, wait a second, isn't that the size I used to wear? And I grab them, and of course all the fitting rooms are closed. They don't allow you to go inside fitting rooms because you start spreading germs, right? But I look at, I put them against my waist, and they look pretty good, And so I got them, and I was right. So now I fit into that old size, and I can tell from this, my skin on the belly. I think if things continue, I'm terrified of thinking of this, but I might weigh as much as I weighed when I was 19 years old. I think it was 71 kilos, 71 kgs. What is it? 163 pounds, something like that. Then of course I'll have to add chains to my feet so that I don't fly away, but that would be awesome, at least like 72 kgs, Anyway, so in these stressful times, the best thing that you can do is shop. And as one slogan I once saw at a shopping center said, never underestimate the therapy of shopping. Wiser words have never been spoken. So yesterday, now that I have the official address in the States, for at least for a few days, I went online and I was looking for binders and chains. And I tried my first contact that I usually use. It's called the First Chain Supply, like a home-based business, but usually their prices were pretty good, and you can find all kinds of interesting binders and exactly what you need, heavy duty, light duty. And a lot of my previous stuff I bought from them, and I think they're in Wisconsin or Minnesota somewhere. And when I'm in the States and I'm staying somewhere for a long time, they give them like an address of a local store or a truck stop, and they ship it to me. But I tried yesterday, and all I wanted to buy was 4 binders with a big slip hook and a small grab hook, like a ratchet binder, but ½ inch to 5/8. I think these were like 15,000 WLL. And then I bought one chain. Well, I put in my shopping cart 25 feet, ½ inch with 2 grab hooks, because they no longer sell custom length like I think they used to do before. Now they don't. You either have to buy this pre-cut, pre-fitted with hooks 20 or 25 feet long chain, or you have to buy a whole bucket, and that's of course right away it's not useful for small company like me. So I don't want to buy a bucket with 100 feet of chain. Like, what do I do with it? Then I would definitely need 3+2 trailer. And so I'm looking at these pre-cut ones, and so they're 20, 25, and 20 and 16. I thought, okay, I'll buy 25, and I can cut it into 4-foot lengths or 5-foot lengths. And normally I use 10 and 6. 10 feet, like half of my chains are 10 feet long and half of them are 6 feet long, and I have 2 compartments, so I keep them like that, so that my short chains, as I call them, are in the first compartment closer to the truck, just for me to remember, and the longer ones in the second compartment away from the truck. And this makes it easy, and I never had a need for longer or shorter chains. But a buddy of mine got 4-foot long chains, and he says, I wish I would have gone with a 3-foot long chain. Okay, so I thought maybe I'll cut this 25-foot long chain into 4-foot lengths or something. I don't know. But anyway, then I added shipping, and I added this and this, and it's like over $1,000, US. And so then I remember this link the other guy left in comments about my tape products, and I used them before. So I went there, and of course the binder did not have such a high WLL. Instead of 15, it was I think like 12,000. But all my chains are 11.3, and my D-rings are rated for 10,000 only by Fontaine. Thank you very much. And so 12 is plenty, and so I got these 4 binders with slip hook on one end and grab hook, and then just a grab hook on the other. So like instead of 2 hooks, it has 3, so super flexible. So 4 of those, one 20-foot long ½ inch chain with 2 grab hooks, and I bought 2 slip hooks. So which means that now I can cut this thing into 4 pieces, and 2 will have grab hook on one end and nothing on the other, and then I'll attach these 2 big slip hooks to the 2 other pieces, and I should have 4 new chains just with 1 hook on one end, either grab or slip, and that should work. And that was 420 bucks, including ground shipping. But now I remembered something, even whether I sell this trailer or keep this trailer, because again I'm trying to get into this 3+2 thing, right? I've been thinking about one area where I definitely lacked tools was those big wrenches for to change the shims in the deck. This time I had to ask these guys, the construction guys. Of course, it's not their job, and they didn't have the proper tools. And so I stopped here by this Tractor Supply, and I measured those nuts, and everybody keeps telling me they're 2 inches, and so I got this. So once again, don't underestimate the power of retail shopping. So these are 2 inches, all right, and they have some kind of a crazy warranty over there, lifetime warranty, you know, not very heavy, drop forged steel. And I asked the lady, I said, I'm not 100% sure that those nuts I'm trying to undo are 2 inches. Can I bring it back? And she says, yeah, as long as you don't scratch this side or this side too bad, and as long as you keep these, she says, you have 1 month. I said, okay. And so the next part of this video, we will find out, because right now I have an idea that they should work, but like I said, I'm not 100%. And then I bought these because these come very handy, like these cheap straps, right? They're only good for 3,000 or something WLL, so you cannot use them for tie downs, but I use them a lot for timbers. And in this particular case, I needed this to tie down the booster. You know, the booster, it keeps shifting a little bit there, and it's, you know, it's almost 4,000 pounds, and it sits on top of the neck. And right now I have 2 straps like this, but I thought I would buy another one and just, you know, add it in the middle just for protection. And so yeah, basically what's going to happen with this with the booster, whether I sell the trailer or not, I want to rebuild it. I want to redesign it. Like, forget what happened with it. It would have happened sooner or later. It was a bad job, bad weld. So basically it was not just bad engineering, but it was bad execution. So I don't know how these guys are still in business. That was a very bad product. So I'm glad that it happened on the dirt road at 3 miles per hour, okay, without any you know, too much problems. And so I'm gonna ship it to competitor of JC Trailer, to another trailer manufacturer in Quebec, and they're gonna redesign it. So that part, they said, there's we're not gonna touch the big part, the big piece where the airbags are, but he said we're gonna redesign and rebuild that flip part, you know, the one that turns, because they said something is wrong with that pin. The pin doesn't look too big, big enough, and all those plates in there, it's all a mess. So they're gonna redesign, rebuild that. So basically I'm getting a new spreader bar. So that's the bottom line. It's not gonna be cheap, but I cannot cut corners on this, because otherwise people will get killed. And so I'm never dealing with these guys out of Keswick, this GeneCore JC Trailer Corporation ever again. So yeah, so that's what's happening. And so once I'm back in Ontario, I'm gonna rent a cargo van, and then I'm gonna hire a school kid to drive that cargo van 500 kilometers north to the Temisco plant and drop it off there, and then bring back the van, give it back to the rental company. And meanwhile, I'm hoping to find a guy that knows a kid, and this guy works for the truck rental company, you know what I mean? Like last time I went to this place where they also wash the interior of trucks, and I had them do the interior of my yellow International before I sold it to the guy in New Jersey for $18,500 US with 850,000 miles. I still remember. So I'm pretty sure these guys, they know somebody who has all you need is a regular G license, or, you know, regular car license to drive a van. You know, because I don't have a pickup truck, and even if I had a pickup truck, I'm pretty sure it would not be able to move 3,500 to 4,000 pounds. And so I just thought, you know, I would hire one of those, you know, like a cargo van they used to deliver like mail and stuff like that. You can get some of, you know, like people use them to move stuff, right? So something like that. So because I'm doing the other load, another part of this crane, so I have to go back to US or bring it back, because now I need money to fix the booster and stuff like that, right? So I don't have time. And so we'll do that. And that's the other piece I bought. These were 10 bucks, I think. I think it's pretty useful to have, you know, especially when you sit for a long time at the truck, and just to add some color, you know, to the boring gray environment at the Michigan truck stop. So these were my purchases. So now I feel much better after $110 left my wallet. But you know, you gotta spend money to make money. Okay, so let's go back to the trailer, and we're gonna place these flashy cones, one at the end, one in the front. And I'm not gonna bother with this now. I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna tie it down before I start moving, and then most importantly, we're gonna measure this. And then I want to talk about something. Actually, that was supposed to be the main topic of this video, but I got distracted as usual. I want to talk to you guys about the importance of the neck, how to choose the neck for a gooseneck trailer, especially when you have a certain brand, but then you want to save money and you're buying a Jeep from another company and a neck extension or flip box from yet another company, right? So we're gonna look at that and see what happened in my case, what are the drawbacks, disadvantages of having short neck, long neck, and that was supposed to be the main topic of this video. But like I said, I got distracted, so stay with me. Now what do you know? We're even gonna squeeze in some driving POV segment. I'm a genius. I'm a Hollywood genius. All right, let's go. Traffic in this little town is crazy. So yesterday I tried to call a cab to go to the hotel 3 miles away. I didn't want to drive the truck, and I thought my load will be more secure if I leave the trailer behind. You know, I don't feel very well about, you know, have this load sitting here. That's why I came back in the morning. But there's only one. Oh, check this out. They have some timbers in here, but these look like soft timbers. But there's only one city cab. It's called City Cab. Taxi cab company, and they're like 5 miles away. And I waited 90 minutes. 90 minutes. I called them 4 times, and finally I gave up, you know. I disconnected my truck and drove to the hotel. All right, the most important part. Please, please, please be the right size. Son of a gun. I knew it. See? And the other guy was swearing at me. No, 2 inches. 2 inches. Yeah, this one is too small. And oh, actually, wait a second. My bad. Check this out. It works. Just very tight. I mean, the clearance. On one end it looks to it barely fits. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I'll have to double check again tomorrow, but it looks very tight. I don't know if they will work or not, but and of course if I change trailers I might need a different one, so again, I'll check tomorrow when I don't have the camera in my head, because right now I can return them, right? And they were like 30 bucks, 29 bucks. But nice, that's what I need. Something like this. And you see those bolts were not very tight. That's what I told those guys. I said, don't make them too tight, because they don't have to be tight, as long as, you know, they're holding together, because that's not what holding the trailer. The trailer sits on the pin. It sits like this. Like this side has like huge kind of like feet with a hole, and then the front part of the trailer has that big pin like this size. So yeah, interesting. Like, yeah, something like this. They're not actually that heavy, you know. Just I think I might need like 2 1/8 or something, you know. And unfortunately these guys I think there was a big hole here right under my wheel. Okay, let's go talk about the neck. So I don't want to make this video too long, because I see the guy on the right is already falling asleep. So let me just grab measuring tape. You know why I'm singing, right? A man usually sings after lunch if he had a good meal. My meal today was 8. Let me say that again. 8 patties. 8 hamburger patties. From McDonald's. $1 each. Anyway, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about the importance of this. Now check this out. This trailer, after I got it, never once did I move the 5th wheel. Because on these, with these rigs, at first I was not sure, right? What do you do, right? What do you do with the 5th wheel on the truck? What do you do with the 5th wheel over here? Well, on the truck you keep it around that front drive axle, right, usually, or slightly to the back. But on my truck I keep it a bit forward because it's I have a lift axle there, which I have to use in Michigan. But anyway, this one I never move. It has to be as close as possible, and this is just long enough to allow turning, right? The problem is over here. Now I'm pretty much in a straight line. Look at this. I cannot go any further forward, right? So I cannot close this gap. This is too much. Okay, I got okay, this thing will go here. So once the airbags are inflated, and this thing will be raised, so it'll be like this. So basically 30 inches. So of course now it's 32, but it'll be somewhere here, right? So 30 inches is too much. And most people I talk to, they say that you must keep this like this, 1 foot or just slightly less. That's enough for this to turn. And basically that's the thing, you want it to be as close as possible. You want your Jeep to be as close as possible just to allow turning. Why? Because you want to be able to move the weight to the Jeep, and then you keep this thing over here as far forward as possible, so you can transfer the weight to the truck, and this way you don't overload the trailer. Now Fontaine refuses to make any custom necks, and that's why my next trailer will 9 out of 10 will not be a Fontaine trailer, because I cannot work with a 101-inch neck, because sometimes I don't need this, I don't need the Jeep, so I need a neck that can transfer the weight to the front axle of the truck. So 101 on a 60-ton is a joke. Most people say you should have at least 115, 120 swing radius. So a buddy of mine built a 55-ton Trail King, and those guys have no problems building you a custom neck, whatever you want. And so they made him a neck like this, 125 single piece, which is not that actually much longer, but 125 I think, counting to the kingpin, right? So that's what I want to have on the next trailer. I want this piece, single piece, as I call base neck, I want it to be 120, 125, okay? And then that's why I want to sell this together with this trailer, because it's too long. And then if you saw that, right, you saw 30 inches, and I want to be at 12. So I need if this will be 125, right, let's say it'll be somewhere, I don't know, somewhere here. I only need like maybe 40, what is it, 125, maybe 43. I only need like a 43 extension like this from a kingpin, you know? So this is too long. And I told the sales guy, I said, if or when we make these trade-in numbers work on my trailer, I said I want to bring the Jeep, because I cannot sell the Jeep. I owe too much money on it. I just got it 3 months ago. So I want to keep the Jeep, but I want this new trailer, make sure that that neck combined with their flip box, because this one, like, if my plan happens, I want to sell this neck box, flip box, together with a 36-inch, together with this trailer, with the booster once it's redesigned, and 4 axles. Right, and the only thing I keep out of this is the Jeep. Like, that's the plan. And of course I have to make the new trailer work, and so I want this to be like, once this goes up, right, so I want this to be here, so much shorter. And of course this will actually make it much easier to work with, you know, when you lift it, because this piece is very difficult to lift with a wheel loader or excavator. It's too big. So when it's short like that, it will be beautiful. And I think if it's a new trailer and you do everything from the, you know, from the beginning, you can custom design everything. I would put a valve in there, hook up a couple of cylinders in here, and because I already have the power of the hydraulics from the truck, and so that I can flip it, like put a switch in here, flip the switch, boom, it goes down, and then I get my base 125 neck, you know, beautiful. And that's the broken to be redesigned flip box. And you see, that's what I want to do. I want to add the, because it's still a lot of weight, so I want to add this other strap in here. So we'll do it before I leave. And last thing, the 5th wheel position. So you see, that's what I have now. So this is my center, right, between the drive axles. So I moved it here, and I still have a few inches in the back between the Jeep and this that I can move it, but maybe to here. But normally I think people go like here if you just use 2 axles. But like I said, in Michigan I'm using this. I have to use this. All available axles must be down when you're over 80,000 pounds. And if I keep this very far away, then this will take too much weight from the steer, and the steer becomes very light. So I have to push this as much as possible, so my steering is legal, you know. But that's what I came up with. And you see, on this truck, the guy gave me 72 inches of the slider. I don't need it over here, so if I ever get a next truck, this will stop here, and here I'll just get a plate so I can stand on something here when I climb up. And of course that's why on the truck we're gonna add at least 10 inches, like 265 wheelbase instead of this 254, and then maybe I can have a ladder somewhere here. So again, so that I can climb. So what I do now is I have to raise myself, push myself up, and jump on these, and then just stand precariously over there. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to mention today. Oh, and one last thing, last thing. Talking about the specs of the trailer. I know I mentioned this, but I send out hold on a second. I send out a kind of like a news release, like what I do for, you know, truck availability, when I say, hey, RGN available, and I send that to like trailer for sale. I send out that kind of like news release to all the brokers I work with, because some of them are Canadian, some of them are American. I thought maybe somebody knows somebody that needs that's on the market for a 60-ton trailer. And one guy reaches out, and his company, I know they run a lot of heavy, like 8, 9, 12, 13 axles. They have 80-ton trailers, you know. And I told him, he says, so why are you selling? Did you buy another trailer? I said, no, I'm just trying to switch to a slightly bigger trailer. I said, like 3+2 in the back. And he says, if I can make one suggestion, he says, ask, when you're speccing the new trailer, he says, ask him to make it a bit flexible, not just 3+2 or 3, if you separate the booster. But he says it would be cool, it would help you save money on permits and escorts, especially in Eastern Canada, if you can change that 3+2 to 4 in a row, which is what I have now, or 3+1. And I didn't think about that, and once I read his email, I thought it made perfect sense. And to me, what's interesting is that this guy is from Western Canada, but of course they run their trucks all over the place, so he knows the rules, and he knows that if you go to Quebec or New Brunswick with something huge like 3+2 or even 3+1, they really don't like boosters over there of any kind. You know, it takes a long time to get permits. You need escorts. Like, if you remember when I was moving that track 100,000 pounds from Nova Scotia, I needed 1 police escort and 2 civilian escorts, all because I was 105 feet long, 32 meters long. If I had 3+2, I would be 110 feet, or what is that, 34 meters. I think then I would need a squadron, not just 1 police car, but probably a squadron on each corner of the load, and 5 civilian escorts. And that's why this guy, you know, gave me this tip, and I think it's pretty cool. I thanked him, and then I emailed the trailer guy. I said, hey, somebody sent me this suggestion. Can you double check your spec that he's still waiting for a reply from the factory for a quote? And he said, yeah. He says, the way I spec this 65-ton 3+2 is that you can use it as a tridem, as a quad, as a 3+1, or 3+2. I said, perfect. So basically, parts of a plan are coming together. And that's the last thing I wanted to mention. So yeah, I keep thinking about this new trailer. But of course, first I gotta focus on the load, but it's hard to do when your permits are gonna take 10 days. But we are ready. I just have one last stretch before I can deliver this, and then we're gonna ship the booster and head back for load number 2. Thanks for watching. So once I start moving, I'll post an update.